Welcome into the Holton Ahlers show. Got a special edition. Big Tay, my former teammates, join us. Hope you enjoy the show. If not, as always,
That's too damn bad.
Holton Ahlers turns, and Holton will take off and run himself. He's at the 40-yard line. Holton Ahlers to the 30. Look at him go! 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Pirates.
There's local politics, bud.
It's showtime.
here we go, boys. Hey, hope you enjoyed the week off. The boys sure did. It was our first week off, not releasing a show since the beginning, since we started in January. But you know what? We were celebrating America, the greatest country in the world. We were celebrating them. Now, let's go to Big Tay. Welcome in, brother, dude. I'm pumped for you to join, man, especially in studio. Let's go.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Dude, let's dive into it. Fifth year.
Yeah, getting old.
Fifth year Warriors.
Getting old.
It's a different, you start thinking about things.
Yeah.
I remember your freshman year clueless. Was your freshman year COVID?
Yeah, 2020.
So you were really clueless then. Sophomore year, you kind of get it, but you're still kind of clueless.
Yeah.
Junior year, you're like, you know, am I? How many more years do I got left? I need to start thinking about the NFL, thinking about a future. Your fourth year, you're like, is this my last year? What am I going to do? Year 5 is you start thinking about your legacy, how people are going to remember you.
Sure.
How has that been this offseason, kind of accepting, like, you know, you're the old guy on the team. Look, you were on the stand with us when we won the Birmingham Bowl. Like, you were a guy and have been for a while in this program, and now, like, you're the face, especially of this defense. Like, how does that, you know, went into your offseason?
It's just me having to keep my foot on the gas, you know what I mean? I know it hit me when I'm coaching the younger guys that's just getting there in June. I was like, yo, like, I wonder, was I this clueless? Like, but now I look back, I be like, bro, like, I went through the same thing you going through. It's just like trying to keep them motivated. You know how a lot of guys or them guys in high school, and they come here, it's like, you got to reset. It's like starting over again. So it's just like trying to keep the younger guys into the loop, help them understand why we do the things we do and why we do it the way we do it.
100%. And you've always been really good at that. I mean, you've been on leadership council, 3-4 years now? I mean, you definitely get it.
More.
Yeah, so you get it. Going 2-10 last year clearly wasn't fun, wasn't easy. Y'all had a really good defense, but we've said on the podcast is in years from now, people are going to forget about it just because you went 2-10 overall. How big of it is now? You know, maybe you pushed the defense last year in the offseason. Maybe, you know, those guys really stayed on each other, but something slipped on the offensive side. And if you don't have a good team, then you don't win. How much of it now is the defense saying, we're going to get our act together. We know we're going to be fine. But now we got to make sure the offense does too. It's not just one side of the ball. You got to make sure everyone's good, especially, you know, when you're in your later years of your career.
I be trying to, every time in a team setting, I try to remind guys, like, it's going to be a lot of us not going to be here next year.
Yeah.
So y'all need to get your act together because after this year, I can't help no more. You know what I mean? But we losing after this season, there's going to be a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but it's a decent amount of old heads leaving, a lot of experience. So now it's just trying to get everybody into this, like, being able to do the same thing where it's no drop off.
Yep.
That way, when we leave, it ain't like, it's the culture. It ain't, all right, this defense was good, that defense was good. Nah, like, ECU football, ECU football.
Yeah. I would compare y'all's defense now, your senior year, to my offense, my senior year, of just like guys have been in the system for 3, 4, 5 years. They know what it takes to win. They know how to do it. They've been through some adversity. But then at the same time, it's like the offense is kind of like it was that year too, which we had a good amount of experience. So I don't want to compare it that much to it. But like this offense coming in has a ton of talent, but you don't know what they're going to do. You don't even know what the coordinator is going to do. I mean, he ain't ever called a game before until he goes out there game 1. So, like, how has that been going up against an up-tempo offense? I joked with you off before air and then with Coach Houston last week that you guys are used to 3 and outs, getting barely any rest from last year.
Yeah.
But this offense is going to be so fast that even if they score, it might be 3 plays, 2 plays at times. How are y'all preparing for the offseason for that?
Practice against them. Like, bro, you know how we used to have, like, tempo periods?
Yeah.
Everything is tempo.
I knew he was
inside
lying.
Run. It's all of that, bro.
Coach Houston last week was like, yeah, I'm learning how to give them rest. And I was like, I don't believe it.
I can't lie, though. I can't lie. He's listening. He's listening to...
He did a little bit
new faces. He can listen to Big John.
Yeah. He started to soften up, not soften up, but with some of his things. Because, I mean, he'll go full pads every day if you let him.
If he could. Yeah. But I realized that, like, bro, like, I hate full. But it's like, them be our best days of practice. Like, them be the days where we get the best work.
Absolutely. But see, now it's, with the offense playing it is and the aggressive style, you can't do it as much now because you get an up-tempo offense, you need those receivers clicking, running fast, which you do in any offense. But an up-tempo offense, you use more receivers, they run more, you run more plays. So it's a little bit different for them. Have you heard, like, obviously you want to go to the NFL next year. You've had a really good – did you think about leaving last year for the NFL?
No.
So you knew you were coming back no matter what?
Guaranteed. Like, because it was like, last year was my first year playing a full season since I've been in college. Then everybody like, dang, like, I just ain't had a full season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My first start, NC State, I dislocated my knee.
Oh, I remember.
And then it just like reset. I'm thinking it was over. I got back towards the end of the season, balled the rest of the season, played the bowl game.
Yep.
Then last year, you feel me? Had a big year.
What was the locker room like losing last year you going 2-10? At the end of the year last year, like, what's the locker room like? Is it like, okay, we got to completely reset. We got to get some guys out. We got to get coaches out. Like, what was the locker room? Was it more motivated? Was it more pissed off? Was it sad? What was the locker room like last year knowing, okay, we got to figure something out or everyone's gone?
Like, well, I'm going to be honest. It was really like, all right, who's staying, who leaving?
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Like, you think about leaving, let me know. You feel me? Because I know where I'm going to be at next year. You know what I mean? So let me know so I can help, you feel me, get what I need.
Yeah.
I was like, this is my senior year coming up. I know guys that's beside me, that's behind me, like everybody that been here before me, like Chad.
Yeah.
Like, we work hard. We just seen the good, bad, the ugly. I'm not trying to go outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what that was. And then after we figured out, you feel me, everybody weaved their way out. New guys came in. But then it was like, all right, that's behind us. We can work towards it, but until we go out there in August, the last thing that we're gonna remember is that 2-10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like every day we just gotta go out there with a chip on our shoulder, ready to work, and that's what it is every day, offense and defense.
Coach Houston last week was pretty loose. He's the loosest I've seen him. When I played for Coach Houston in 2019 and 2020. He wasn't loose.
That was his early years.
Exactly. And those were the rebuilding years, you know, setting the tone of who he is. Just curious, from your freshman year to now, how's your guys' relationship? How has he loosened up a little bit in areas? And how have your relationship grown in those 5 years?
Coach Houston, I remember he came to my school for the visit and stuff. It was just like, all right. I felt like he was like a military. Like, be like, he could be on you. I was like, all right, I can deal with that. But then it's just like, as I started, once he started seeing me, like, the way I lead and the way I play and stuff, it was just like, all right, I know I can trust this guy. And now it's to the point where me and Coach gonna joke around, but he know, like, when it's time to play ball and when it's time to lock in, he know, like, what I'm gonna do. So it's just like, now I do stuff with Coach Houston, it's just like, a freshman would not do. Like, I be giving Coach Houston knuckle sandwiches.
Yeah.
Like, a freshman not doing that.
Do people ever ask you, like, hey, how do you do that with him? Like,
nah.
No.
I feel like they know. Yeah.
People that is one thing that I would say about Coach Houston is if you go in and work. I was talking to Noah Henderson about this when we lived in Texas together. In Coach Houston's program, if you go in and work, do what you're supposed to do, like, he is a completely different person towards you. And people are like, he has favorites. No, he doesn't. He has more respect for some guys because if you sit here and work hard, do what you're supposed to do, which is what you did, which is what we all did, then you have a different relationship with him. And now that, like, I'm done playing, I've realized that, whereas, like, last week we're sitting here, like, cracking up, talking about memories and stuff, and then after he's like, let's go, come to my house, we'll grill some steaks one night. And I'm like, you couldn't do that with a lot of, like, former coaches, especially college coaches, man, because, like, they're under such of, like, scrutiny, especially with NIL now, which I want to ask you about, Siobhan, and if you heard anything, but, like, head coaches nowadays got to deal with so many things that, like, Coach Houston actually reaches out to his former players, especially ones that he really, like, got close with during those days. Like, Caden, Caden, you had him, what, 2 years?
Yeah, my first 2 years.
Those were the years when he was a heart. I remember one time, I think it was 2019 when he first came in, he, like, announced me as a starting quarterback, and he was like, listen. And he looked at me, because I would always be so nervous. I still would get nervous going to his office. I went and visited the other day, and I'm like, dude, I got flashbacks to this place, because you're like, Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm telling
Yes,
you.
sir.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
But then you see him out, and it's like super cool. But
Yeah.
then like eventually we would talk and stuff. But I remember in 2019, like I'm sitting there, and I'm like this. You're looking at him, and he was like, he was dead serious. I was like, yes, sir. And he said, I'm gonna name you a starting quarterback. I said, yes, sir. And the next thing he said, I'm not always a hard ass, you know. And I was like, I know where their smile, laugh thing, and I was like, thanks, yep, okay. And but that's just for real. Like he has a dry sense of humor that, like, once you get to know him, like he's actually a very cool, laid back.
Yes.
You say laid back, it sounds crazy to some guys, but then other guys, you're like, once he knows you're going to get your stuff done, like he's a different person.
You got to build trust. That's just like with anybody though. But it's just different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for
different
sure.
People got different ways.
Siobhan news came out about what he was offered and all that. Mm-hmm. And obvious people, we knew that it was happening. I mean, I know you guys. It ain't like I didn't play with y'all 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you have any opportunities or teams reach out that tried to poach you? You ain't got to say what school, just you did. You had an opportunity. I figure you did. That's sad about college football now, isn't it? Are you pumped for NCAA 25?
Yeah. I just want to be like a 78. If I can get like a 78 rating, yo, I'm cool.
So 78's what you want?
Yeah, I just want my strength through the roof.
Now,
straight.
If it's not 78, your overall.
I'm not going to care.
Where, like,
oh, yes, he is.
No,
He just got so hyped saying
I'm
he went.
saying, though, but like,
let's see.
that ain't going to determine how I play this fall.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
No.
But 78, you're excited. You're like, let's go. 78. Because they said through the season, like, if you do good, your overall will go up.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm not worried, because it's going to be a 78.
Let's say you turn on the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like a 66. You don't care?
Nah, I'm going to be like, shit. I'm going to be like, dang, I guess I got some work to do. That's all it is.
Reason I ask is, you know, you guys play Liberty, first 3 games?
Yeah.
Won the first 3 games. Their quarterback is in the top 100 players rated in NCAA, and their running back. Mm-hmm. You know, is that, looking at that, you know, what do you think about that? I know it's just a video game.
Like, I'm going to eat them.
They gotta see me on
how
games,
exciting
though.
is that to see, like, you know, you got a lot of top talent.
That's the way I look at it. If the world look at them as top 100 players, that means when I play them, I got to snap. That's going to be my time to shine. That's the way I look at every game. You got a big name guy, I want to play against him. So I'm glad you
It's
just
a
said
pirate
that.
mentality, baby. That gets me fired up.
Goal for the end of the year, where you want your overall at?
85, 86.
Come on, Tay.
This is realistic.
That's
though.
realistic.
This is realistic.
Just think about people who in the 90s. You feel me?
Yeah.
I was prepared to come in here and Big Tay be like, I want to be a 95. I want to be a 99 at the end of the
I'm
season.
telling you, last year was
that's
my
realistic.
first year
Respect.
like playing, bro.
Respect.
People don't owe me nothing. I still got to prove myself.
No, you will. I know you will on that. Coach Harrell,
Mm-hmm.
I think all ECU fans probably thought there was a chance we lost him
Mm-hmm.
just because y'all had such a good year. How vocal has he been about, like, let's do this together, I'm staying, like, this is the year?
When all that stuff happened, he was just like, bro, I'm not going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, y'all can stop worrying, I'm not going nowhere. And then that's when we started, you feel me, getting the pieces that we lost or pieces that we needed. And now where we at, I can't wait.
Who, I told you I was going to ask you some hard questions now, all right? Who's the starting quarterback game 1?
Caden run the show, really.
All right.
But Jake gonna take them shots. Like, Jake the playmaker, but Caden, he the field general. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, Jake will do the exciting stuff. But don't get me wrong, like, both of them do their thing. But I see Caden. And then I feel like Jake just getting the back end of it because he signed second, you know what I mean?
100%. And I mean, yeah, I think we kind of got Coach Houston to slip up last week. We didn't clip it. We could have very easily clipped it and posted it. I mean, we're not doing that. I'm not trying to be like that. But he said he said the same thing though. He said Caden has something about him, but then he said Jake's a gunslinger and will make plays.
He will make your defense look stupid.
Yeah. So it ain't a bad problem to have. Last year we love Flynn and Mason, but like last year we had troubles at quarterback and we really didn't have. We had 1.5, but it didn't equal, or half of a quarterback in each one, but didn't equal one. This year you go into it, you have 2 guys who can legit play, which is all we're hearing. I'm trusting you guys now.
I'm not going to let up to you.
All right.
Can you feel the difference?
As in, like,
can the team feel the difference? Like last year,
oh,
I guarantee you, your 4th or 5th game, you knew we had some quarterback. Probably earlier than that. I'm just being conservative with that. But you knew you had some quarterback issues, and the defense probably like, you know, we're gonna have to play hard every game. Well, you have to play hard every game, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Really have to. buckle it up. Where this year, do you guys feel like, hey, this is an offense that's the truth? We can rely on these guys.
Nah, because we thought that we could rely on them last year, you know what I mean? So until he go out there game one and show me, you still got to earn my trust.
That's what is weird about literally every season. It's like you never know until you're out there.
I seen you get hit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, next year, I know 12.
But even going into it, though, like, we had Zay that was new.
Yeah.
Like, we had pieces. We had Justin Redd, who was a starting left tackle.
Yeah.
Like, you had going in, you had pieces. You're like, if Zay doesn't ball out like he is during practice, we might not be that good. If Justin Redd can't block, I can't throw the ball. So then it's going in, and you're like, we play State
Trust.
game one, and you're like, dude, I got it. Zay, because and even that game, like Jalen Johnson, that was his first time playing. Like we went into that with new guys and they took about a half to kind of get going, and then that offense took off the second half of the State game and kind of the rest of the season. But like, you don't know until. That's why I think it's very important to have two guys. And that's what Coach Houston kind of said. He was like, look, we won't know until, because I asked him, I said, how are you going to test them early in camp? Because like, it's not going into camp where it's like, all right, Mason's the starting quarterback like last year, which it was a competition, but let's be real, Mason was going to start.
Yeah.
This year, like, someone's got to win the job. And that's what I asked him. I said, how hard are you going to make it for them to win the job? What are you looking for? And he was very vocal on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I kind of feel you on that where you said you have to earn the trust. I remember my freshman year coming in as a freshman, and you had Gardner Minshew, you had Thomas Sirk, you had Trayvon Brown, who just went off in, like, team periods. And I was, like, a freshman, like, there's a packed quarterback room before Holton got here. And, I was just trying to, like, in the outside looking in, and I was like, oh, my God, like, these guys are good. Like, high school, I was like, oh, my, this is amazing. First game, James Madison, we get our asses whooped. And I'm like, oh, my God, maybe we weren't. Because in camp, like you said, you got to earn that trust.
Yeah.
You're just playing yourself. So how good are we really?
And it's like, quarterback, it's like, I can't hit you.
That is the big thing.
I'm 300 pounds. If I run at you, like, in real life, you going to run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just going to step up. That's not how that's going to work. That's how I'm like, after I see them under pressure, like in real scenarios, okay.
You take that hit, I respect it.
Yeah. Not even take the hit, like what you do when the bullets get to flying.
Yeah, exactly. You don't get flustered.
How does your mental go? That's what I was talking to Coach Houston about, is like, especially because he said John David Baker was going to be in the booth. I'm like, all right, well, then whoever is down with the quarterbacks during the game, that's important, because who's going to calm them down after an interception if his OC and quarterback coach are in there, who he has probably the best relationship with? Because these kids ain't been here 4 years. They ain't been here 5 years where you can go up. You still might be able to, but you coming up to me and you coming up to them is two totally different, because I've known we've been through stuff for years
together.
Rather than they've been here 6 months. You can't sit there and get in their face, and then, like, if you go and get in their face game one and, like, get riled up, like me, I know, okay, that's how you are. You know that's how I am.
Yeah.
You don't know until the bullets start flying how they are.
Yeah.
And they don't know how you are really.
Yeah.
I mean, they might, but, like, they really don't know until it happens. So that's what I'm kind of excited to see. How are the receivers? I want to hear it from the defense. You guys go against them. How are the transfer receivers? We're hearing positive things.
Playmakers, bro. Like,
really?
I love it, but I hate it, because it's like, we got to run that ball, man.
Yeah.
Like, that they speed and they playmakers. They gonna, after they get the ball, they going upfield and they gonna make a play.
Let's go. When you look, I've been very vocal that I thought this schedule, we could have done better scheduling bigger teams. I know you look forward to the big games. You were just talking about
definitely.
Liberty and stuff. Not seeing NC State, UNC, freaking Michigan last year, like, it gives you guys the opportunity to win a lot more games, but also it doesn't give you the opportunity to make some big upsets and make big splash games.
Yeah.
How do you go into it as a defense, and your last year? How do you go into it seeing how weak the schedule really is?
Like, now it's just like, we see what the chance we got, and it's like, we trying to donut people. Like, we're not trying to give them nothing. It's like, you feel me? Like you said, we don't got the big games, so that means that every game is up for grabs.
100%.
We're going to make sure that we in position to win every game as a defense.
What game are you, like, circling in your calendar? I kind of mentioned, like, Liberty has a high-power offense. Is there one?
App State.
App State?
App State.
Why is that?
App State.
But why?
I hate App.
Did you just hate App?
I hate App.
So that's the circle?
App
That's
State.
it? You just hate App?
I love it. And you get them at home, which will be cool.
They've never been a Dowdy. Since I've been here, they've never been a Dowdy. That's why I can't wait.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Is there something deeper to that? Like, do you have someone that goes to App? Is there a friend?
Nah.
Like, you just hate App State?
It's just, I ain't beat them since I've been here.
Okay. You played
last year was my first year playing. I didn't even get no snaps when we went to Charlotte. I literally watch everybody in my room play.
You're just tired of the last 2 times they beat us.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Now I can control it.
There you go.
See, that's how you know Tay's a big pirate. He keeps. I love that because that's my mentality when I was playing. You know, this is like I would figure out a way to make every game personal and like pissed off about it. If you can do that, especially on defense, like quarterback, I would have to like once I got to my senior year, I almost like not joked around, but like I knew how to get myself mentally ready.
But when it was time to lock in, we knew what 12 was gonna do.
Yeah, like I knew once I got on the field, I was straight. But like going up to game day, like on the bus and stuff, I would always be like loose. But I also knew like Zay Winstead had to be loose. CJ, good Lord, had to been loose, or else he was going to run through the whole sideline on the opponent's sideline. But like for you, you can get amped up, like you can get ready to roll. Yeah. Are you like so every single game, like going into it? Is there like a routine that you have to be like make sure that your mental space is there, ready to roll?
Nah, I wake up, play some music. Well, I got a playlist, click shuffle, brush my teeth, and then because they already knocked on the door, you feel me?
Yeah.
Brush my teeth, then I grab my headphones, go downstairs, eat. If we got breakfast, like if it's an evening game, we go eat breakfast, and then I'm gonna eat a strawberry bacon, egg, and cheese bagel.
How about Kane? I'm gonna let you ask a question next. 12 o'clock games.
Mm-hmm.
Are you one of the weirdos that eats the spaghetti and meatballs at 7:30 in the morning that they always have and baked potatoes?
No, I'm eating that bagel.
That was the weirdest thing, dude. I was not. I was like, bro, who is? It'd be like dry pancakes or like a hockey puck, and it'd be like, I'm not trashing on because I'll tell you, the best meal ever on earth. I will swear this to the day I die. Friday nights before games, I swear I would gain like 100 pounds eating because I get like 3 steaks, all the pasta, the pasta station, the ice cream station. Like I'd be like, oh my gosh, Caden, go ahead.
Who do you room with? Have you had the same roommate the whole time?
Yeah, Shuford, my boy gone now.
Good Marshall.
What was that like? Me and Holton were roommates every year. Well, I don't know who roomed with you after I left.
Yeah,
but you kind of had like your like routine. What was that like for you and Shuford?
You're talking about game day routine?
No, not game day. Like the night before. Like,
Night before. Well, we know like I got the bed closer to the window, no matter where we at. Shuford got the bed closer to the door. And then it's like every week we'll take turns who gonna get up and get the door. That's all it was.
Did you guys also sit on the same row in the airplane?
No, Shuford sat behind me. Always, I sat beside Foot one year. I sat beside D-Lo, and then I sat beside E the last 2.
I sat beside Holton on the airplane
every year,
and I was in the middle every time. I'm a smaller dude,
tight,
and I don't really like flying airplanes.
I
used to not, but I got a lot better now that I'm traveling a lot. And Holton would always be like, yo, man, like the clouds are black outside.
He's just trolling.
Trolling.
I'm like, dude, this plane is definitely crashing today. I just got a feeling, guys.
Stop, guys. He said that, and it would freak me out a bit. But one flight, I think that was
when we was jumping out our seats.
Yes.
Were you on that? Or
Cincinnati.
Yes.
Bro, that was the horrible, like.
When we landed, I literally was trying to convince people to try to get Coach Houston to get buses
back
to drive back because I did not want to go. I thought we were dying.
That was sick. No, that would have been a crazy sick ride.
Holton on that flight before it took off.
I thought
you knew it was storming and the plane was kind of shaking. This man, we're taking off. He's like, this plane's coming down. this plane's coming down, and I'm like, dude, like. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. Kid you not. We get in the air. That plane, you remember, starts shaking.
Yeah.
And Holton starts grabbing me. And he's like,
oh, now you want to. Don't run. Don't run.
And he was like, dude. And I was the calm one. And I was like, hey, just relax.
Nah, I would have trolled up. Oh, now you scared.
I was scared, though.
I literally, it was like every plane, I'd be like, boys, I got a feeling today's the bad day. This plane's going down. Just because people like him, they'd be like, and low key, I'd be the scared one. But if I just trolled other people, they wouldn't.
You feel better.
That plane ride though was terrifying.
I'll never forget that one.
Yeah,
I just love that because like the night before the game and game day is such a big thing, and having the like someone you're comfortable with. Yeah, I think it's huge. Just like doing your test with, sitting in the airplane.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that.
What we'll let you go. Ask you a few more questions. What are personal goals and then team goals and then defensive goals? So just answer one at a time. I'd like to hear that.
Say that again?
Your personal goals this year, the defensive goals this year, and then team goals this year.
Team goals, we want that conference championship. Personal goals, I really wanted that first team and break that All-American list somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
If ain't nothing but a mention. And then defense, we want to be the best defense in our conference, hands down.
Let's go.
Hands down.
You forgot one.
What?
You're 85 overall in NCAA.
Oh, yeah, let me get that. Oh, yeah. You said they doing week to week?
Yeah, that's what they said.
If they do that like Madden, bro, I need that. Like,
You said you wanted your strength up. If they come by, I don't know if they have a Madden NCAA score rating like they do on Madden. If they're like, all right, we're having a bench contest, we're having a combine, would you do it?
You know how I am in the weight room. You know how I am in that weight room.
Oh, I do know. That's why I asked you that.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I'm live for that.
Appreciate you joining, man.
No problem,
Had to
man.
get you in the studio. I think you're the first active player to be in the studio.
That's
so
tough.
yeah,
Yeah,
Let's
that
go.
is. Yeah, appreciate
Let's
that.
go
man.
for sure, dude. So
History.
appreciate it. Hey, we're cheering for you. Anything we can do, let us know.
Cheering for you
Appreciate
too,
it.
man.
That interview was brought to you by True Pirate Company, Anson Belt. Look, there's no better belt in the business. We talk about it every single week. We talk about it on social media. We hope you got their July 4th 20% off because those belts were sick. We certainly did. Go check them out, AnsonBelt.com. Caden, wedding seasons in the summer. You can't wear a better belt to wedding season than Anson Belt.
Wedding season, holiday seasons, it doesn't matter the season. It doesn't matter the day of the year. Anson Belt's the best belt that's going to fit you regardless of how big you're ever getting, how small you're getting. If you're fluctuating in weight like I do sometimes, it's the best belt. It's a stylish belt. No other belt's better.
And you talk about toning up. Look, we all want a summer bod. You know an easy way to get a summer bod? Go eat at Clean Eats. I'll tell you right now, Clean Eats will get you right. Look, it doesn't have a ton of sugar. Caden, you know the exact statistics. I want to get to you. They got meal prepping. They got frozen meals you can go in there. They have amazing shakes. I've done it all. I did it all when I was playing. I'm starting to do it now. Now I'm back. I've been staying at the beach. Scott and his team are, if you want clean food that is actually tasty, Clean Eats is the way to go. And you talked about it last week. Most of their meals are under $8. You can't beat that.
Well, he took everything I was going to say. But what I love about Clean Eats is if you're anything like me, I try to eat healthy. The problem is you have a busy day. You just don't want to cook. You know, groceries are expensive right now. You don't feel like cooking. Guess what? Meals are under $8. You slide in there. You get a nice meal and a nice smoothie if you like smoothies.
I agree. That's where Clean Eats. Check them out. Thanks, Scott, for supporting the show. Thank you, Clean Eats, for supporting the show. That interview was good. Yeah. We got him to update the quarterback. I think we got a trend going on here. Is it Caden Hauser going to be the guy? Now, does he have to go prove it during camp? Yes. But that's 2 weeks in a row we've kind of had guys say, look, he's the guy.
Yeah.
And they've said it without saying it.
Well, coach said it. But, yeah, it sounds like it's definitely like when you hear the defensive guys saying he's the field general, he's the guy. He's the guy, definitely game one. He's the guy until he loses it or something crazy happens, gets hurt or something like that, God forbid. But he's definitely the guy. I think we've got all the confirmation we need. I'm
a fan of Caden. I've met him. Huge fan of him. We think he's going to do really well here. Do really well here. Holy cow. But one thing that I had noticed as a quarterback, I want to see if you've noticed. Both guys I've talked about and people I've talked to, their eyes kind of light up a little bit when they talk about Jake Garcia. And they say, look, he's a gunslinger. He's going to make it happen. He's going to make the defense pay. I'm like, I want to see more of this guy. This guy seems like he's slinging it.
I think everyone likes the gunslinger aspect because the gunslinger doesn't get as many reps probably in practice. And when he comes in, it's just something electrifying. Where the field general, I feel like I was like this in high school with my backup. My backup would throw a way prettier ball than me. He'd come in and do something crazy, but I was the more field general type. It was going to be consistency. I think just people, maybe Jake comes in with a big play. Maybe he comes in with, a pretty ball sometimes. People just look at little things like that. That could be part of it, but what I love is currently, and I love what Big Tay said after this, they feel like they got two solid guys.
Yep.
But what I loved what Big Tay said is, I feel like we had two solid guys last year. They have to prove it to me because right now it's just practice. I don't know anything till the quarterback gets hit.
I respect him for saying that too, and we got to a really good point. And I think it's a huge thing to look at this year is who is going to be the ones to talk to the quarterbacks on the field. I said it last week. That is a huge deal. I was very lucky because I didn't need a coach. I had you when you were here, and I had Flynn who learned under you pretty much. When you left, Flynn took in that role and was perfect at it. And look, Mason was always good, but Mason knew his role in it, and Stubby did too. Like, that quarterback room needs to come together and figure out, or the coaching staff does too, who is going to be the one or two guys that can calm the quarterback down, can hype him up. Quarterbacks can't get too hyped, can't get too low. They need to stay just even keel. And they also need to know in a game, all right, this is the drive that we go in the game. This is the drive where we come back. This is the one drive that can we do that. And sometimes quarterback don't have that natural instinct. And that's something you learn over time and you play. And I feel like by the end of my career, the last couple of years, I knew like to go get in the offensive line's face when we may have just scored, but we let up a few things. We didn't do it as good, as clean. There's still times you can do that then. So I think that is going to be huge because you don't have a ton of experience in that room. They've played a little bit, Caton and J-Cav, but you don't have a ton of experience with the offensive coordinator. He hasn't experienced. There's a lot of like little things that you don't notice that could either go really well or that you realize when you're 2-2 after 4 games that like, okay, maybe that's something we can get better at, but by that time it's too late.
Yeah, it's a good call out. One thing about that room is even with the third, fourth strings down even further, I don't know how many quarterbacks are on the roster, is everyone's pretty young. They're young. No one's played together before. And then you have a new OC. I don't know who the GA is, but like they need to find someone. If it's maybe like your best friend in the quarterback room, maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming that Jake and Caton are kind of in that competitive spirit like you and Reed were. Like Reed wasn't going to settle you down. You weren't going to settle Reed down. You guys always competed. But I think that's a role that a younger quarterback could possibly fill if they have a good relationship.
Or a walk-on.
Or a walk-on, exactly. Or a GA. It just depends. Like those are the guys, your key people who are going to fill that role. Because really a tight end's not going to fill that role. A wide receiver might not really fill that role. It's going to be someone who really knows what's going on, has that whole offensive vision. So I'm curious. There is a gap there because if a quarterback gets hit, knocked around, pissed off, I've seen you pissed off. You tell that story with Donnie when he comes on here. But like if you can't come back down, you could be lost for multiple drives, if not the game.
Remember, are you talking about the story at Navy?
Navy. We'll never forget it. That's the best.
Talk about it.
Oh man, I wanted to save this story for.
We'll still bring it up
when Donnie came, but. Like you said, so like last week, Coach Houston said that John David Baker is going to be in the box. Well, what was that? 2020 or
2019? You're at Navy.
So 2019, Houston's first year, they wanted to like try an experiment where we had the OC on the field with Holton and Coach K. I don't think that was the smartest idea, and so we're at Navy getting our butts just absolutely hammered. And Coach K was a little bit of a firecracker at times, and he got all up in Holton's face, just yelling at him. And I forget what you said. You said something wild back then. I don't even think I can mention it on here. And Donnie snapped that clipboard and just threw it. And that clipboard went flying. The papers went flying. And the pen went flying. And he was just flustered, yelling and everything. Like, you know, Donnie gets.
Yeah.
And the funniest part about that was like, he was like, damn it. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? And the best part is he couldn't find the pen, and he was yelling at Zach Gwynn, who's a former walk-on here and played at Delaware. But he yelled at Zach to find the pen, and Zach is like frantic on the Navy sideline, can't even find the pen. But
it was. But looking back, like I can joke about that with Donnie because that's how our relationship was. Like we were both fire. We understood each other. That's something like. Does John David Baker, does he get fiery during practice? But maybe he doesn't during practice. But in games, like that's how Donnie was. Like any coach, obviously the situation is going to be high stressful. Like you're going to be more amped. If you throw a pick in practice, you can't act the same as you do in a game. It's different. So like that is something that you won't figure out. And look, who do we play game 1? Norfolk State. Like they probably won't figure out then either. Because look, you throw an interception versus Norfolk State at home, and you throw an interception versus App State at home. Those ain't the same feeling.
No.
I mean, they all suck. I'm just being honest with you. They ain't the same feeling. You know when it's a big game, you're like, oh, crap, I better figure it out the next play. Whereas Norfolk State, you're like, all right, we're going to win either way. That sucks. I got to learn from it, but we're still going to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and one thing to call out as well, like, you and Donnie had a great relationship, so I don't want anyone to get that wrong here. But you and Donnie could not be next to each other when something went wrong on the field.
That's why he went to the booth, literally.
Exactly, because, like, you guys had two conflicting personalities that did not mesh unless you were separated.
Well, we were like the same.
Distance.
The thing is, like, we were the same personality,
exactly.
And like you can't have that in those situations. But like when he went to the booth, it was perfect. Because he could hang up the phone, or I could hang up the phone,
take out the headset and slam it.
Yeah, and then like if I hung it up, you'd be like, well, what? Because y'all can't hear me. I'd be like, well, what'd he say? And you'd hear the phone. Ring, 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 going up again. I'm like, don't answer it. I'm not talking to him right now.
Or I heard the whole conversation. I'd never lose the conversation. He'd be like, tell him to pick that phone back up.
Earl, what was your takes on the Big Tay interview? What did you take from it? Maybe as a sports bettor or just in general?
Yeah, I mean, the way it's talking, and he hinted exactly what Mike Houston did, is this is going to be a faster offense. And especially with the different type of receivers.
Look at the grin, and Earl loves it.
Hey, it makes me think overs with this team, even though the defense was really strong last year. And I know a lot of people are going to look at last year and say that this team offensively was no good, and defensively that was their bread and butter, so they're going to be an under team again. And I don't know about that. The way that they described offense, and I know people in my industry who are not going to get the in-depth information about East Carolina football are going to think back to last year where this team had no offense. And I think these totals are going to be a little bit low to start the year. And that's exactly what we're going to look at when lines are released for the Norfolk game and things along those lines, is those totals might be in the 40s when they should be in the 50s.
I think it's a good segue that Earl mentioned is our poll we had on Twitter. I think we released, what was it? What we've had the listeners vote on, what did they think the offense would average this year? What was that poll?
And what were the percentages?
I have it up here. Is the at Holton Ahlers show tweeted, how many points do you expect ECU's offense to average this fall? The Rangers were 10 to 19, 20 to 25, 26 to 34, and 35 plus. With the winning result being 26 to 34, where 45% of the people on this poll landed in that segment right there.
So either close to 50% think we're going to average 26 to 34. That's a high number. I'm just telling you right now, that'd be great. We would win a lot of games if we did that. I love the offense. I love how high flying it is. That's just for a first-year quarterback, a first-year OC, man, like that would be amazing, but that is high expectation.
It's a 10-game win season.
That is, because the schedule. Because if you're averaging that with the schedule with our defense, then you're talking about, I'd say 8+ wins regular season, and then you go on that. Earl, I know you said which one did you vote in on that? How are you going into the season?
I quoted this tweet, and where I end up ending was in a section with 36% of the people, which was 20 to 25. And the way I looked at it was last year they averaged 17.3 points per game with that offense. I expect some improvement, but I'll expect with caution is the way I worded it there. So I said 20 to 25 points per game. Now, with my expectations for some more overs, I'm hoping I'm wrong. And they do put up enough to get me over these totals. But I did say I expect improvement, but with caution.
I like it.
I'm with the fans here, but I'm also
going with caution.
With caution. So I've been very high on the offense, but I think Big Tay kind of brought me back to reality. And like I should be, like you would as a player or a coach. Like, hey, we're high because we have a lot of good receivers, good quarterbacks. We think so far, but the caution is they haven't done this live yet. We're excited, we're thrilled, but until they do it live, I think I'm gonna bring my tone a little bit down. But I want to be with the fans. I think if I really think what's gonna happen this year, I think it's gonna be in that fan poll.
I like it. I mean, yeah, I think so too. I think it's one of those two ranges. I think you're going from, I know that's pretty obvious, you're going from, 20 to 35. I think it's in that range. I think I'm expecting more of the 24 to 27 range. That's still a good offense in college football, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's more. If we're less, we're in trouble, and we're sitting here looking at a new coaching staff next year. I hate to say it, but with this schedule, even these coaches got to win at least 7 games.
They got to win 8.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough, but the schedule is winnable. It's very winnable. We asked Big Tay about that.
New poll idea for this week. Maybe we do it this week. Maybe we don't. Just an idea. Defense. What do we think the defense on average? So see how strong this defense is going to be, and see what the listeners think they're going to come in at.
We'll do it. I wanted to give a shout out to Worth Chiropractic, 2 convenient locations on Arlington Boulevard. Look, 1-800-BACK-DOC. Give them a call. They will. Dr. Worth and his crew will get you right. I'm telling you, they kept me on the field. I have back problems. He fixed me up. They have everything there to make sure that they will get you back to being you. Look. Back problems, that's not just an athlete problem. That's an everyday problem. A lot of people have back issues. Go to Worth Chiropractic. Call 1-800-BACK-DOC. Just let him see you. Let him get a free consult and just go. Let him see you. See what can be done, because he will get you back to being you. 1-800-BACK-DOC. 2 convenient locations on Arlington Boulevard. Next, I want to give a shout-out to Wayne Hardy Law. 1-800-INJURED. Big Wayne and his crew will get you right if you need a lawyer, if you've been in a car accident, need to win a case. Look, like I said last week, you see his big face, Big Wayne's face on these billboards. They are winning cases, and the only way they can get money is by winning cases. Look, if you need a lawyer in this area, that is the team to do it. They're the best.
They're reliable.
Resilient.
And they care.
And they treat you like family, which is the Wayne Hardy difference. Go check them out. 1-800-INJURED. We got some new merch. We talk about Madam Mesquite. The merch is in. Now look, I'm a Pirate. They tried to convince me, Caden and Earl tried to convince me to pull up the other shirts. But I said, no, I'm showing the Pirate shirts, okay? Now, they got all these college shirts. If you're looking at the screen right here, these are sweet, okay? Look at this. Babe backs the Pirates. Madam Mesquite. We're going to be giving these away on our Twitter, at Holt Ahlers Show. We're going to do a bunch of giveaways. Go check Madam Mesquite out. Look, this is their college collection. They got camo stuff. It's classy. It's country. It's everything in between. Now with this college collection, there's no reason to. You want to know a reason? Because, look, there's a little rumor around. We got some NC State fans. We got some UNC fans watching the show. And, look, I said I'm a Pirate. I'm not gonna hype up another team. But Caden said, you know what? Give me the UNC shirt. I'm going to hype it up. So, Caden, go ahead.
So, if we have those pretentious UNC fans, Big Head, which is a great name of the dog for the UNC fans, Big Head backs the heels. So for all you UNC fans, big heads out there, we got an actual big head that backs you guys. So here we go as well.
And I tell you what, I said, Earl, you know what, man? You're smart. What university around here could you represent? Because look, Madam Mesquite have all of them. They have any college you could think of in North Carolina, they have.
South Carolina as well.
Yes, with Clemson, in which we will maybe show down the road. But I said, Earl, what college do you resonate with most? And he said, Holton, I'm a Wake Forest fan at heart. So, Earl, show him the shirt.
Oh, yeah. It was definitely wish I could have had one of these a couple weeks ago when the baseball team bounced Chase Burns in there. But for the 13 Wake Forest Deacons fans out there, we have Rex backs the Deeks. So they've got for a bunch of different colleges, but yeah, they got Wake Forest as well, with Rex backing the Deeks there.
Now I'll tell you, we're big fans of Madam Mesquite, and I know we were just joking about the colleges, but they are. If I was a Carolina fan, I would wear that shirt. I'm definitely going to wear the ECU shirts. They're cool shirts, but even if you don't want to wear a college shirt, they have everything in between. So check out Madam Mesquite Goose Club. We appreciate them for supporting the show as well, boys. How close are we to NCAA 25?
So if you pre-ordered it, you're 5 days away.
We're filming on Wednesday, so we release on Thursday. So what is it?
So 5 days.
Okay. You're smart.
Thursday.
Okay.
And it's a week if you didn't pre-order it. So the 18th. Are you excited?
Dude, I'm pumped. I really am. And I want to get the fans' opinion on this. I want you guys to reach out to us via Twitter, comment on the YouTube channel. Like, we're thinking about doing some streams for the game and doing some not contests. What would I say? Like we're thinking about doing streaming and going. We got to throw for 1,000 yards in a game. We got to run for 1,000 yards on a game. We got to win the national championship in one night and just stream until we do it, and just not stop. The stream might last an hour. The stream might last 18 hours. We're gonna sit right here with the TV right here, and we're gonna do it. So we need y'all's thoughts on that. And if you're a sponsor and you want to sponsor this, it's going to be totally different from the whole Ahlers show. We'll still release it kind of under the same thing, but like I think fans would like it. I think it's a good idea. We love football. We could also, while we're doing it, like I'll talk about the coverages, talk about the concept, but we'll also just shoot the crap, have fun, play video games while doing it. So do you think that's even possible to throw for 1,000 yards in NCAA 25? I'm going to say 14.
If you're playing like 5-minute quarters, you'd have to throw the ball every play.
Yeah, you would throw it every time.
So yeah, I think 5-minute quarters are possible, but I think that if you're going to make it somewhat challenging and hard, you got to do it online.
Well, no, because then you can't skip the defense. We would simulate the defense, so we don't even got to play defense versus the computer.
But still, if you did it online, that's pretty impressive.
That is, but okay, I want to say this as well.
Another challenge before you do that.
Okay.
EA Sports Challenge. We can't say NCAA anymore. EA Sports Football Challenge is, I did this on the old NCAA game. I took Navy, Army, or Air Force, one of the triple options, and I only had 2 possessions.
So we'll see that.
And won the game.
So here's my vision with this. The fans make the rules. Say we're going to be like, all right, we're throwing for 1,000 yards. The fans make the rules on it. Okay, well, it has to be 6-minute quarters, this within reason, but also they can come up with the challenges. So we want this to be really interactive. Earl, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've played video games like that, but it'd be fun to have like those challenges. Because I remember playing Madden on the mobile, or whatever, and doing the challenges that way. But it'd be interesting to figure out what the fans come up with for.
That's what I'm saying. Challenges. We want it to be interactive because look, I think it'd be funny. First of all, it'd be funny, but also cool. We start the stream, and until we reach that goal, the stream doesn't end.
Could do it.
You could do like maybe Friday nights going into a Saturday game. Like you don't know, but let us know what you guys think about it. We're excited about NCAA 25.
I'm excited just to play it again. Like that game, like I would pull out my Xbox 360 still and just play it as much as possible. That's a timeless game. And what I love about it is like the creators at EA put so much time and effort into it. Like, did you see the snapshot of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium?
It was sick. We posted on our X.
I must have missed that one.
It was a video.
It was just so clean and so nice, those graphics. So I'm pumped to get into it, and I'm excited. You said you don't play video games, Earl?
I haven't in a while. I'm mainly the ones I play either on my computer or on my phone. I haven't played on a console in a very long time.
So are you gonna play the new EA college football game?
I would need to. I would have to go out and probably get a console. I haven't played.
We're getting
console
it in
in
here, and he's
going to
stream it with us.
I could try to play it in here. I mean, I used to have a gaming channel a long time ago. I don't do that anymore, but like, I mean, I can figure it out on a remote control.
That's interesting. Curious, guys. I know the summer right now has been kind of dead for me. Baseball's at the point where I'm kind of bored. I'm excited for football, and I'm just like, haven't watched baseball in probably like 2 weeks. My dad calls me like, you see the game? I'm like, no, I'm actually not betting baseball right now, and I'm not doing anything. So I know Copa America is on right now, and the Euros. You guys watching that at all?
I'm not. Earl, you betting any of that?
I bet 2 things to force myself to care. I can really care less about soccer to begin with. But just to have something to care about, I took Uruguay to win the Copa, and I took Spain to win the Euros. So that was my way of trying to care, was throwing a couple bucks at those 2 teams, and that was just about it, and just following those 2 teams throughout the thing.
So I don't really watch soccer that much either until like the international play, and I was pretty excited. Like the U.S. team is supposed to be like the golden team.
Well, Earl told us before the show that they just fired their coach.
Well, the players are supposed to be the players. It's this young generation of the U.S. that they're thinking that's going to be the next great thing. And I watched their last 2 games, and it was kind of like defeating. Like it was like what is going on? Like of a nation of 300 million people, how can we not put some top talent on the field?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm not going to sit here and chat on soccer. I have no clue about it. But, guys, let us know what you think about the challenges when we do NCAA stuff. Look, let us know if you want some gear, too. If you saw these shirts and were like, let me get one, we are giving them away. They sent us a ton of boxes and other colleges, which we will be showing throughout our show. Support. We appreciate the sponsors for our support. Appreciate Big Tay for joining. He's going to have a huge year. Great leader. I mean, we played with him. He is the guy, like I said multiple times during the thing, he's a true pirate. He understands what it means to be a pirate. So appreciate him. Appreciate everyone for watching. Keep supporting the show. We're only growing. Got some exciting news on the way soon. Hint at it. We'll see you next time.